Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Shaneria. This is Talking Crime. On this channel we do reaction videos, and if you like that type of content, hit the subscribe button down below, join the family, like, comment, and share. If y'all returning, you know we like to get straight into the reaction videos. Let's get started.
Trigger warning. I want to give a trigger warning before I tell what happened to my son. I keep getting asked what happened, or people will be like, I thought, they'll say something like, I missed it. Did I miss it? What happened to your son? Big trigger warning though. If you're sensitive to anything, please scroll past this. But I feel like my son's story is important, and it's a teaching moment. I'm going to go back a little bit before I tell you exactly what happened. First of all, my son Titan, he was 18 years old. He struggled. I was not the perfect mother while he was growing up. I was 20 when I got pregnant, 21 when I had him. I was a baby. I was growing up with him while raising him. I made lots of mistakes, okay? I made lots of mistakes, which impacted my son. But I was also a good mother. Like, I wasn't always perfect, but I was always there. I was always there. I just didn't always make the best decisions, and it definitely affects your children. My son was grieving. My son was grieving. It started when he was 15. Maybe a little younger. I can't exactly remember. My brain is fogged ever since he passed away, so forgive me if I'm a little spacey. But he lost his grandma and grandpa in the same week, and he was so close to these people. It was on his father's side. They were amazing to him, and they loved him, and my son loves so deeply. If he met you and he talked to you, he loved you. He especially loved his friends. He would sit and talk with his friends about mental health because of his own struggles. He would cry with them. He would pray with them. He would check on them, even though he was struggling himself. Titan never met a stranger. He never met a stranger. Okay? But he was grieving. And because nobody freaking talks about grieving, because social media only shows good stuff, and because people don't like to hear sad stuff or see people cry and it makes them feel whatever, I had no idea. And I was just like, I just didn't understand. Now, did he go to therapy a little bit? Of course he did. Of course he did. So anyways, fast forward a couple more years. Big trigger warning. My son and his friends was at a friend's house. His very best friend went into a room, brought out a pew-pew, said, "Hey guys, you want to play Russian roulette?" Put it, and he unalived himself in front of my son and some other boys. This changed my son's whole life. And it would change anybody's life. I couldn't even imagine. I can't even imagine what my son saw and what he went through with it. So after that happened, my son was grieving even more, and he never got over the grief of his grandma and grandpa. Like, that never left him. Then his friend, that happened. My son could not get over it. And because I didn't understand grief, again, my fault, I pushed him to be okay. I was not sensitive. I mean, I was at certain points when he was really breaking down and crying and really upset, but on a day-to-day basis, I was like, baby, you've got to keep going. You've got to push forward. We got to get past this. He never really did, but I mean, he lived, and he had a job, and he graduated high school, and he did everything he was supposed to do, but he did it with his mental health not great. So fast forward a couple more years. A couple months before my son passed away, his best friend, another best friend, in fact, his mother's on here and talks about grief, but it's not my story to tell. But another friend of his was unalived by pew pew violence. My son it just took him out. His mental health spiraled. It spiraled. He had just moved home for like 8 months because we had a fight, and he had left because he was a boy trying to test boundaries, and he started to become a man, and we butted heads on some things. So anyway, so he was gone, but then he came home. Thank God he came home last August, and so I got 8 months with it. Anyways, my son looked for comfort in substances. He did. He liked, I don't know if I'm allowed to say it on here, but I'm gonna, he liked Xanax. You know, he was just trying to find some relief. He was also on medication, because he was in therapy and stuff. So he was also on medication and talking to somebody. And we were all trying to be very sensitive, but, you know, he couldn't get a script to Xanax, so he would have to get that off the streets. My son died of a fentanyl overdose on April 21st, 2025. Fentanyl poisoning that was accidental. My baby was just trying to find some dadgum peace and relief, and he looked for it in the wrong places, and he made a very costly mistake. Warn your kids about fentanyl. If you don't want to wear your kid around your neck every day, make sure they know that fentanyl is in everything on the streets. It's in weed, it's in pills, it's in everything. And you literally cannot even take a Tylenol from a friend. Don't you eat gummies at school. Don't take anything from anybody, because you don't know what's in it, and it only takes a little tiny bit, and they're gone. Fentanyl kills every 11 minutes. I don't know if you guys know that. It kills every 11 minutes. Your children need to have Narcan. You need to have Narcan in your home. Your children need to have it in their backpack, in their purses, because you never know. My son had to be Narcan before. I didn't know that. They need to have a plan if they are going to do drugs. Like, even if, you know what I mean, just go over it. Just be like, if you're going to make a bad decision, don't do it alone. Don't do anything alone. You know, have Narcan, have a phone. Don't be in a car. Don't do crazy things. Like, just have conversations with your kids about this stuff, because you think it can't happen to you. Because I thought the same thing. It absolutely can happen to you. And if fentanyl hasn't affected you yet, it will. It will. Love your children. Love your children. Warn them about fentanyl.
Okay, so this mother have a whole channel just giving you certain stories. I think her channel is more coping on like grief and stuff, because she's still dealing with it. It's still like fresh. And also what she said at the end is very true. Once your kids become older, heck, it's kids in middle school that's vaping and stuff. Like, who is buying them this stuff. But anywho, at the end of the day, you can't stop it. Like, they gonna do it. They gonna hang out with friends that's on that stuff. They gonna hang out with all kinds of people. They get a little more older, they want to go and party, do all of this stuff, and don't have a plan B if something happened. And not only that, friends, so-called, will leave you. If they see you overdosing, they will literally leave you stranded and destitute with no help, because they don't want to get in trouble or go to jail. Like, they more worried about their freedom than you living your life. So be careful what you do, what you take from people. Just sit down and talk to your kids about this stuff. Depression, anxiety, all those type of emotions, like, it's at an all-time high. Like, for some reason, it's getting worse and worse and worse, causing children and adults not only to do, you know, weed and stuff like that, but other stronger drugs. And then they might do weed and their weed is lace. Like, yes, I feel like even though she didn't understand it, she did the best she could to, like, kind of get him past or through the depression, the anxiety, the panic attacks, all that stuff. I feel like she did her best. And she's kind of blaming herself because he overdosed. Like, but at the end of the day, he was now considered a adult. So what can she actually stop? What can she actually stop? He's seen all of this stuff happen. For young kids, because he definitely had to be young, to like play Russian roulette. I don't even know who came up with that game, but everybody know, like, something is bound to happen playing Russian roulette. I'm just saying, like, how did that become a game? Dangerous. And think about it. Sitting there while somebody bring a pew pew out and say, y'all want to play a game and take their own life. You could never think in a million years that somebody would do that. But not only death is hard, grieving is hard, but to literally stand right there and see somebody take their own life, in front of you, can do some major damage. And then the grandparents, that's crazy. The grandparents both passed in the same week. Lord. And then she said he was going through therapy. So people can't say, oh, put your kids through therapy, get them some help. He literally was going through therapy. What other resources can help these children, adults? It's not only children, it's adults too. What resources can help them other than just going and sitting and talking to somebody? Because obviously it helps certain people, but some people it's just not helping, to the point where they go in to the one thing that will destroy their whole life. And not only you can pass away, like, you can become really, like, mentally unstable. Mixing narcotics up with other things can definitely kill you too. So it's like you mixing drugs with street drugs, prescription drugs, with your mental health, depression, anxiety, all of that stuff can cause another effect. Not only an effect to cause you to want to hurt yourself, but cause you to hurt other people. This is dangerous. And kids need to be, you know, told and put on game, like, what can actually happen to them. Some of them don't really even care. Like, they're going through depression and stuff. They don't really care what can happen to them. But at least you told them. At least you warned them. At least you got them help. At least you figure out resources so you won't feel bad about what happens to them next. Well, you're going to feel bad regardless because it's your child. But this story is definitely sad. I hope this mother she's never going to get over it at all. That's her child. Who will get over something like that? But at least have some type of relief by getting it out, talking to other parents, talking to other people about what these drugs can do to you, because now she has experienced the loss of her son, and she's able to tell people about her experiences and the things she remember about her child going through depression, anxiety, and all those emotions. So you guys, drop down in the comment section what you think about this story. Don't forget to like, comment. If you like reaction videos, this type of content, don't forget to join the family by subscribing. And remember, these people that I'm doing reaction videos off of, their information will be always down in the description. So if you are returning, you already know how we like to do it. Like, comment, share this video, and I hope you all have a blessed day. Peace.